On March 25, 2024, in New York City, former U.S. President Donald Trump speaks at a pretrial hearing in a hash money case in criminal court. Following the reduction in the amount required to post bond by a 5-judge appeals court bench, Donald Trump responded in a variety of ways to questions on Monday regarding finances. When questioned about his acceptance of foreign funds for court fines or expenses, Trump wavered, first stating that he believes he is permitted to do so before adamantly stating that he has never done so and doesn't need to. Have you ever accepted payment for the bond, fines, or other legal bills from a foreign government? The imprisoned former president was questioned by CNN's Kate Sullivan. No, that's not what I do. I mean, I suppose you could. I'm not sure, Trump remarked. If you go borrow from a big bank, many of the banks are outside of this. As you know, the biggest banks are outside of our country, he said, posing a hypothetical question. That's something you could do, but I don't need a loan. I'm really wealthy. The 2 largest banks in the world, according to Forbes, are American banks. When a reporter earlier in the day questioned Trump if he would take foreign money to pay his bond, he seemed to dismiss the issue and turn away. The Biden campaign quickly shared this answer on social media. On Monday, there was a question posed to Trump regarding whether he would use his personal funds to finance his presidential campaign. This was something he had promised to do when he first entered politics in 2015. That promise was quickly broken. Trump started taking money as soon as he started to gather traction. When the reporter inquired as to whether Trump would be using his personal funds for his presidential campaign, he responded sharply. He said, yeah, before reprimanding the journalist. First of all, it is not your concern. I have the option, so I might do that. It is reasonable for a reporter to inquire about a presidential candidate's campaign financing strategy. A president's debt to foreign powers poses a concern to national security, as former FBI Special Agent Clint, who is currently a senior fellow at George Washington University's Center for Cyber and Homeland Security, cautioned over the weekend. It's always important to find out if the person in issue is financially vulnerable to the point where they could be compromised. In reality, money was most likely the cause behind the compromise of those Americans in most spies you see, including those who were arrested recently for ties to China. It has to do with money. Thus, we're discussing the individual who might be in control of all national security and who actually was in charge of all national security, placing them in a position that might be quite susceptible and that could have a significant impact on policy. The inquiry regarding ByteDance, the owner of TikTok. Just 4 years ago, there was discussion about the need to eliminate everything, a radical change from the previous administration of President Trump, so just extend it over a 4-year period. Additionally, an appeals court decided on Monday to lessen the punishment against former President Donald Trump in his civil fraud case, marking a significant move in the legal drama that has captured the nation's attention. While the ruling might appear to be a victory for Trump, New York Attorney General Letitia James quickly retaliated, highlighting the importance of accountability for fraudulent acts, according to Newsweek on Monday, March 25, 2024. The New York Attorney General's office filed a lawsuit that resulted in the ruling, alleging that Trump and his group had engaged in a fraud to inflate asset valuations in order to obtain loans and tax benefits. The original ruling, which was based on the seriousness of the claimed fraud, came with an astounding $454 million penalty. Attorney General James reacted angrily to the appeals court's decision to reduce the penalty. James emphasized the seriousness of the charges against Trump in her remarks after the decision, pointing out that the court had previously determined that he was responsible for years of deceptive actions meant to artificially inflate his net worth. She emphasized that the case's substance was unaffected by the lighter sentence, demonstrating her resolve to hold Trump responsible for his deeds. James said, Donald Trump is still facing accountability for his staggering fraud, leaving no possibility for doubt. The Attorney General's unshakable position demonstrates the commitment to protect the rule of law and guarantee that anyone involved in fraudulent activity, regardless of status or influence, will face penalties. The ramifications of the court's ruling surpass the monetary sanctions levied against Trump. It serves as a reminder of how crucial honesty and openness are in business relationships, especially for those in positions of authority and responsibility.